AndrewHogue.com allows you to get your fix 24/7 via our free iPhone and Android apps. Simply download from the respective stores and rock out. This is AndrewHogue.com, Australia's first and only dedicated 24/7 rock metal radio station. As you know, we cover all spectrums of heavy music, and I have to say that this band certainly are the pioneers when it comes to the word metalcore. Many people might have heard of them, some people might not have, but they're in Australia for the very, very first time. We do have frontman Jorge from Marauder. Welcome to Australia, Jorge.
My pleasure, man. It's a freaking honor and a pleasure to be here, man. It's a beautiful country, man.
I've definitely been a long-time fan of the band's music. I mean, even when I first got, Master Killer back in the day, it was refreshing at that time because a lot of people weren't really melding these sort of hardcore and metal roots together at all. And that was such a surprise to sort of hear that at the time. And now, moving forward, metalcore's probably oversaturated its sound, but I certainly think that Marauder was certain pioneers of that sort of genre tag. Do you kind of take a bit of credit for that now? A lot of people pointing that out to the sound that Marauder created in the earlier years?
Yeah, I mean, I've always kind of seen it in other bands, previous bands, but they weren't really, I mean, it was just a little different. I think I don't know. I think we kind of, I guess you could say we did start at metalcore, but we weren't really trying to be anything different. You know, we were just, it's just like a Brooklyn sound type of thing. You know, it's like a mixture of like hardcore and carnivore. And I think we just really kind of taking off where like carnivore left off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now
it's a little different sound, I guess. It's a little newer, but I don't really like to take the credit for it. I kind of think Carnivore to me was one of the real first metalcore bands. If you really look at it, because I mean, they were like hardcore heroes. The whole hardcore scene loved them, and they were straight up kind of metal, you know?
Yeah. Well, looking at the history of Marauder, I mean, the releases were certainly kind of widespread. They weren't as consistent as other bands, and now, of course, you're back with a
lot of problems.
You're back with a full lineup. Now, I do recall seeing Marauder live back in 1999 at the Dynamo Festival in Holland. Do you have any recollections of that festival?
Yeah. I was really obliviated, but I remember some of it. No, I definitely remember. Yeah, I mean, we did the Dynamo twice. 99, I think, was the first time. No, that was the second time. Sorry. Actually, wow, 99 was when Saab's father died.
Okay.
That's when we, I actually do remember that. That was probably one of our worst sets ever. We were pretty just mourning our friend's father, and we were just a little incapacitated on stage, you know, and not really. I mean, I kind of feel bad for that show, man, because I felt like we did really bad at that show. But I mean, at the same time, we weren't, you know, really in the playing mood, you know.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. Since Bob died, and he flew out to Europe the next day, and it kind of didn't really hit him until we got up on stage, you know.
Yeah, not the greatest of timing when you're out on the road.
You know, all these years, you know, since '95 till now, it's just, you know, we in and out in this scene, you know. It's just problems, personal problems, and debts, and people having their moments in life, you know, where they hit rock bottom, and it's just a combination of everything. But you know, it didn't break us, it didn't destroy us. We're still here, and we, you know, after 45 years old, I've made it out here for the first time.
What does motivate you to keep playing music, especially now with Marauder being in Australia for the first time, and also with a brand new lineup as well? What drives you to keep making music?
The fans. It's a combination of the fans, just the love for the music, man. I mean, it's no matter. I mean, you might see posts of me online saying I'm going to give up. You know, I'm tired and I'm ending it. But it's easy to say that, but it's really hard to walk away from the music, man. It's really hard. I enjoy doing this, and it's therapy for me at times too. You know, I mean, sitting at home, things get rough. You need to get out and see the world and see your fans and break bread and have some fun times. But I mean, the main reason is all the fans, really, man. The more they request me, I just can't walk away from it like that, you know. still interested. They still show love. So I got to do my part. It's my responsibility. I chose this life, so I figured, you know what? It's my job to fulfill, and until my dying day, man. So I'm gonna be here until I can't no more.
Yeah. Well, obviously, the last studio record, God His Eye, was out in 2009, and now, as I mentioned, you've got a full brand new lineup. Let's talk a bit about new music from Marauder. Is there anything on the horizon very, very soon?
Yes, actually, we've been writing. The process has been a little slow because of our personal lives once again, but we've had a couple little talks and stuff, and we've got some songs on the table. But once we get back from this tour, we're gonna put in another 50% and make it a full 100% when it comes to the music writing. We're gonna sharpen up on those songs, and hopefully by summer we should have something done already. Hopefully before the summer, but out by the summer. So available toys for everybody.
Now, being a musician, obviously in the scene for a number of years, what's your view on the changes of the industry and where things are at and the amount of different bands and different subgenres? Do you keep up with it? Do you not care about it? What's your whole point of view on the changes?
I was keeping on with it for a while, and man, it's different times, different people. Life is different, so kids think about different things and they have a whole different outlook. I came from the streets, man. Our concerns were just political shit and just wondering how we're gonna get by day to day and how we're gonna get food in our mouths and stuff like that. It doesn't like now music. They don't really talk about that anymore. It's like they already got food and they're looking to get some more.
Yeah.
But it's just different times. I mean, the priorities of the labels and the children are different. Kids, the younger bands, different songs, different times. That's how I feel. It's just the streets are not like the streets anymore in New York. It's not like what it used to be. So for some kids to start a band and talk about that, sometimes it's kind of really stupid. If you weren't there, shouldn't sing about it.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Do you find that it's better off talking about something you've really experienced as opposed to a sort of secondhand story that someone else had experienced in the past? I mean, people get inspired by that, but do you find that there's some sort of newer bands that are trying to sell that reality when it really isn't their reality?
Yeah, there's always a bunch of Milli Vanillis, There was always going to be a bunch of, it started in Brooklyn with one band. I don't really want to mention their name, but they always rep Brooklyn, and they were never part of the hardcore scene and whatever. They were just posers to me, man. But ever since that band came out, I felt like that, that started up a lot in the scene. But it's what sells now. Now it's just, it's the image sells.
Yeah.
It's, your personal life, I don't sell no more. Kids just interested in what they see on stage, show them, they'll take that home with them, you know what I'm saying? Or in a video, but it's hard for, like I said, the streets are different, it's hard to have people to live the same lives you live. And it's cool in the way that they try to falsify it, because in the way they admire it and they try to give it a little homage to what we went through. But at the same time, I don't really preach it either that much, I don't dump my garbage on somebody else, it's my problems, my own.
Through music, it's kind of a therapy for most musicians I talk to, and it's a good way to sort of let things out. Some interesting points there about, other bands. But let's talk about those tour dates just quickly. Of course, you've got a bunch of shows that are happening. Your very first show, I do believe, is actually happening tomorrow night. You've just arrived, of course, in Australia for the very, very first time. What's your, thoughts now being in the country first? First impressions, at least.
I love it. I love this heat. I'm Puerto Rican. We don't like cold. But I love this heat, man. I love the country, man. It's from what I see, it's cool. It's looks like that you can go out and have a normal life out here. It's a little bit like New York. I like aggressive people, so I like people to be aggressive. I don't mind it. I grew up like that. When if it's a little too quiet, I can't mess with that. Quiet neighborhoods, I won't ever be able to sleep. I like this, man. I like this. So far, so good. I haven't really walked the streets yet, but from what I've seen, it's great. It's cool.
The first show kicks off tomorrow night at the Crowbar in Brisbane. Then on Thursday, 2 shows at the Bendigo Hotel in Collingwood in Melbourne, both Thursday and Friday. And then the Herman's Bar in Sydney on Saturday. And then the final show at the Cambridge Hotel in Newcastle on Sunday the 30th.
Newcastle, yes.
So enjoy your time in Australia. It's great to have you here for the very first time, of course, too. And hopefully,
Oh, man, it's my pleasure. I'm excited. I'm like a little 12-year-old kid right now, I'm like a lollipop.
You got to enjoy that shit.
Yeah, brother.
All right, we can get you to choose one of your favourite tracks from Master Killer. I reckon that's my favourite Marauder album. Of course, Brutality as well had some great songs, 5 Deadly Venoms. Which one do you want to choose from any of those records?
What song you guys want to choose a song from one of the records to play on? Besiege the Masses.
All right, done. All the best, Jorge, and thanks so much for your time. Look forward to seeing Marauder.
Oh, thank you, man.
Take it to the stages this week.
To be here, man.
Awesome. Enjoy your time.
Yes, man. Thank you.
Let's check out some Marauder now here on andrewhogue.com.